Oh my gosh. Ooh, ah, ah. I hear the Noah song in the background by Ancient Path Kids channel. If you have children, check it out. That's what they're listening to right now. Ooh, ah, ah, ah. Okay, I'm going to do this brief commentary on the second Exodus video by Ron of TruthUnEdited channel. I've been subscribed to him for many years. I don't even know how long. Oh my goodness. Are you kidding me? I don't know what's up with this timer. I'm sorry. This YouTube timer. It's like, oh no, you're just starting all over again. I'm just starting all over again. This video is just all there. Anyway, okay, the Noah Ark song is over. Now we're just gonna focus on the commentary on the second Exodus video by Ron of TruthUnEdited channel. Okay, I've been subscribed to him for many years. I don't know how long, actually. I mean, it could be 6 years for all I know. Anyway, I just want some things I wanted to point out so people can get a better understanding. He does a really excellent job with giving scriptures and everything. Now, there's two things I want to point out in that video. Two main critical things that he actually mentioned is critical to pay attention to, about the rebels being sifted out during the second Exodus, okay? You do have some people out there who are saying that only those who will be qualified to be part of the gathering, part of the second Exodus, will actually go. Israel and those who are biologically not of Israel alike. However, Yah will allow, just like what happened in the first Exodus, Yah will allow rebels in the camp, but he's going to sift out those rebels and they will not enter into the promise. Okay. Now, how he's going to gather them, obviously, we know it's going to be the catching away, really. Now, the reason why I say it's the catching away, or what they call the rapture, that will conclude this Exodus journey, is because I don't think a lot of people realize how long the first Exodus was intentionally supposed to last. We know it lasted 40 years, but Yah did not intend it in the beginning to last 40 years. It actually, they went through a whole year process. They had to do, they had to build the tabernacle and all those things. The process itself was really supposed to take 3.5 years. The first Exodus was only supposed to take 3.5 years to get to the promised land. Okay, so there are some things that Yah would be pruning out of Israel from Egypt during those 3.5 years. And then once they were completed with that, they would enter into the promise. But they didn't have faith, obviously. They grumbled and complained because, we don't have food. We don't have water. Blah, 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 blah. Where's Moshe? Where's this manna? Right? So they didn't enter into the promise. I mean, a whole generation of adults did not enter into the promise. And so Yah gave us that, obviously, as a warning for us that we don't fall prey to that in the second Exodus, because it's not going to be an easy ride in the Exodus. Of course, you will go, I want to be free from having to work a 9 to 5, work, career, whatever. Okay. There's things that we're going to have to endure. And right now, for those who have not, I would highly recommend you get used to fasting. Once your body adapts to it, you can go, several days without food and be absolutely functional. Okay. And, just with a little bit of water, you need to get your body conditioned to that, because that is going to be one of the things that's going to be the nail in the coffin for many who are going to be entering into the greater Exodus, the second Exodus. Their bodies will not be prepared to endure in the wilderness, because they have trained their bodies to eat 3 meals a day, or to eat every single day. You're not going to die if you don't eat a meal for one day. Okay. You're just not. You got to train the body. You got to allow Yah to train and condition our bodies to fast. You're not going to make it into in the greater Exodus if you're not fasting, if you're not trying to fast, take away some food, go half a day without food. You got to condition your body, because there's going to be a famine. There's going to be a famine where there's going to be a lack of access to food. Okay, and we're gonna have to trust Yah to break provisions, divine, heavenly provisions, angelic provisions in those time periods. So we need to be prepared. We need to prepare ourselves right now and let Yah prepare us right now for that. Also, in addition to that, okay, as I mentioned, that greater Exodus, the second Exodus, the first one was supposed to take 3.5 years. This second one will take 3.5 years. So just don't think that when you get into the Exodus and Yah's doing the regathering that, within a year, hey, we're going to be in the promised land. Whoop, whoop. It ain't going to happen that way. It's going to be 3.5 years of purging Babylon out of you. 3.5 years of purging Egypt out of you. 3.5 years of purging the people of Israel and those grafted in, purging all the things of the world out of us, because we have been in this world for so long. That's all we know. What we have is all we know. So he's going to have to retrain us and recondition us and establish new and great things in us during that time period. So expect that, okay? The first Exodus was to take only 3.5 years, and it took 40 years. But this one will only take 3.5 years, okay? 3.5 year Exodus journey, all right? Second thing he mentioned that he seemed to be questioning about, where's the location of Israel, and that Israel is located, some people have been saying like, Israel's located in South Africa, Israel's located in the Americas, Israel's located in, East Africa. People, we have the artifacts, right? We have the artifacts in actual Israel of today, right? That shows us, that proves to us that that's where Israel actually was and is. Now, keep in mind this. You know what happens when people migrate from a country that they love, their home country? What do people do? When you migrate, like what happened in England, as I mentioned in another video, what people tend to do when you go outside of your nation, you tend to move to a different area and you tend to name those places after the place where you came from. Okay. So there are probably places in South Africa, like there's places here in the Americas that are named after names of Israel, because when the children of Israel left the original land, when they moved into different areas, they're going to call a city Jerusalem. They're going to call a place, Zion, it's just our human nature. If we're fond of a place that we've come from, we're going to name that new location after the place where we came from. So just because there's certain places in Africa or in the Americas that have Hebrew names, or, cities that bear Hebrew names, doesn't mean that that is originally Israel, okay? The land of Israel. So I want to clarify that, because I think the enemy is trying to bring in confusion that way. And we need to understand and know that we already have the evidence. We have archaeological evidence of where Israel is. And we don't need to be doubting that or questioning that just because our people moved down to South Africa and start naming places after our homeland. Okay. So I just want to emphasize that, because he seems like he wasn't sure, because this guy was giving him good evidence that Israel might be in a different location. Don't be swayed by that, okay? Just because we move to a different place and we start naming places and start building things similar to where we came from doesn't mean that's it. All right? So that's my commentary on the second Exodus video by Ron of TruthUnEdited, a wonderful brother. And I encourage you to take the time to listen to him and look at the scriptures that he presents. It's really, really good. All right? So with that, I say shalom, shalom, shalom. That's my commentary. Shalom.